Today, I want to share with you something that you can start practicing right now. And I can all but guarantee that whoever you are, this is something that's going to be relevant and applicable to you. It's one of these rare concept exercises that's great for beginner players, intermediate players, advanced players alike. And it's so simple and so obvious, yet something that I find very few drummers actually put any dedicated practice into. And it's something that you can practice anywhere as long as you have a metronome. You can practice it on the drum set, on a practice pad, you can practice it on your hands and knees, you can practice it with just your hands if you don't have any knees, and as long as you have a metronome, you could pretty much practice it in your mind as well. So what is it that I'm talking about? Well, I'm talking about 16th note upbeats. So what are 16th note upbeats? Well, if we're counting 16th notes, 1 E and a, 2 E and a, 3 E and a, 4 E and a, the 16th note upbeats are all of the E's and U's. Typically, when we refer to upbeats, we're talking about eighth notes, and we'd be talking about all the ands. So if we were playing like a disco beat, we might be playing like 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. In this case, with the 16th note upbeats, now we're playing in between all of the cracks of the eighth notes, all of the E's and U's. So now we're thinking 1 E and a, 2 E and a, 3 E and a, 4 E and a, 1 E and a, 2 E and a, 3 E and a, 4 E and a. And what I'm suggesting that you practice, especially if you've never worked on this before, is simply being able to turn on a metronome and consistently play only the E's and U's. Again, if you're more of a beginner or intermediate player, or you've just never really thought to practice the 16th note upbeats before, I would start slow, maybe like 70 or 80 BPM. Here's what that would sound like. Now, after hearing that, you probably fall into one of three camps. Either you played that with me, it was very easy, there was nothing strange about it, and to you I say, great, hang with me and we'll make it more difficult very soon. Or you tried that with me and you thought, I am tripping out here, I do not know where I am, and hopefully you're starting to see the value in this exercise, that we play 16th notes all the time, but rarely do we spend any time specifically focusing on the E's and U's. Or you fall into the third camp where you didn't play that with me, you lean back, you listen to it, and you thought, that doesn't seem too hard, and then go and try it later, and you may have a rude awakening. Now, I want to talk about some of the benefits of this exercise and how to use it more practically, but let's speed it up a little bit, and let's just work on being able to go from the eighth note, so 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and switch between those and the 16th note upbeat. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to play one measure each of the eighth notes and then all of the 16th note upbeats. Here's what that's going to sound like. Okay, now if that's still easy for you, I encourage you to keep on trying to speed it up until you get to the point where your brain has a tough time holding on to where the 16th note upbeats are supposed to be. And I guarantee there is going to be some tempo at which you just lose your purchase on where those notes are supposed to be. And that's why I love this exercise, is that it's so good for our timing. And if you think about it, it's not at all a physical exercise. Yes, we are playing something physically, but there's really no coordination involved, and there's really no speed involved as well. This is what I think is so funny, that I've worked on this exercise with students in the practice room where, maybe we're in a practice room and there's a hallway outside, and we'll be playing along and trying really hard to stay onto the 16th note upbeats and just struggling and struggling. And from outside the room, it'll just sound like we're playing eighth notes. Because if you don't have the reference of where the quarter note is, these 16th note upbeats literally just sound like eighth notes. So just as a timing exercise and as a mental exercise, it's so good for us. And it's also great to help us improve and develop our phrasing as well. So let's get into that. What I want to do now is I want to see if I can just sort of move around the kit. I might speed up the tempo a little bit. And I just want to see if I can flip the switch between playing these 16th note downbeats and the upbeats. Again, I'm just going to sort of move randomly around the kit and see what comes out. Okay, so hopefully you can start to hear now how not only is this helping us improve our timing, but our phrasing suddenly gets a lot more interesting as well. And again, this is a rhythm that's always been right under our nose, but few people really dig into it or really spend time working on specifically just being able to play those 16th note upbeats. So for now, this is where I'm going to leave you. And I'm going to say, if you are in the more beginner camp and that first exercise was throwing you for a loop, really work with the 16th note metronome and see if you can just hit those E's and U's. And if you're more advanced, start bringing the tempo up and start improvising around the kit with these 8th note downbeats and then the 16th note upbeats. What I'm going to do is I'm going to just improvise a little bit, and I'm going to try and flow around and include some of these 16th note upbeats just to show you how you can start to kind of fold them into your phrasing and fold them into your playing. But with that, thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. See you next time.